Well, hi, everyone. If you're just joining, hello, everyone. I thought this morning I woke up and I was still, there's just been just so much going on this week in the news. We have lost um, people that we've really cared about. And then we just lost Robert Redford. And it just made me really sentimental thinking about just how much it has affected our pop culture in America. And I want to kind of talk about the movies he's been in, just like a short tribute, because really it is part of our culture. It's what we grew up with in America. Is he not an American icon? Yeah, I really think he was. So I wanted to do a tribute and talk about him and just some other weird stuff I kind of came across. I thought we would talk about that too. Well, by the way, if you're just joining, hi, thanks for being here. Tribute to Robert Redford, and we'll talk about some other stuff too. Well, first, I wanted to go over some of the movies he was in, just to remind us. And if you're a younger person joining us, you want to check these movies out because if you haven't seen them, you're missing something. Robert Redford, of course, was in. These are the big ones: Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, that came out in 1969. All the President's Men, that came out in 76. I remember that when I was a kid. The Sting, right? That won an Academy Award, 1973. Out of Africa with Meryl Streep in 1985 is the most beautiful movie. I have it on DVD. I watch it about once a year because it will make you want to take a safari to Africa. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, I highly recommend it. The Natural, I think I saw that once, 1984. I think maybe I probably need to see that one again because I don't remember it resonating with me like all out of Africa. All is Lost, 2013. I mean, for his age, filming that's the one where he's on the yacht and his boat hits like a floating metal, one of those steel metal boxes that fall off of ships. What are those called? Anyway, gets a big hole in his yacht and he has to save it. Now, for his age, he would have been in his 80s when he made that movie, which he was the only character in that movie. That was amazing. The Old Man and the Gun, I have not seen that. That was in 2018. And apparently, I didn't know this, he made appearances in the Marvel film Captain America, The Winter Soldier in 2014, and the Avengers Endgame in 2019. I did not know that. I did not know that. His older movies that, by the way, is playing for free on YouTube, and I think they're maybe releasing a lot of movies for free this weekend due to his passing. Barefoot in the Park, 1967, that's for free on YouTube right now. Jeremiah Johnson, The Candidate. The Candidate's a good movie. That came out in 72. The Way We Were with Barbara Streisand, Tall Story. So again, you guys, a lot of these um, are for free on YouTube. You don't need a movie subscription to watch these things. So something weird. Oh, wait, let me see who's in. Hi, Mark, Annie, and Lois. Okay. Oh, and something else, like, so Robert Redford, I guess I didn't realize this. He was married for many, many years. Like when he made that Twilight Zone episode, I talked about it on my other channel. It's called Doc in the Den, if you don't know. I was talking about that that episode, that black and white episode where he plays the Grim Reaper. Anyway, he was married and had was having a family. So he has, what was it, two or three children now? I'm forgetting. And apparently, like, he lost a baby and then his adult son passed away, which, gosh, no parent should have their child die before than they do. So he went through those tragedies. But before he was really famous, yeah, he was married. He was very grounded. He wasn't your classic, like, narcissistic star, nothing like, not that they're all like that, but like he was really down to earth and very quiet, very private person. And I think he was married, was it 18 years he was married? And then he, dated some other people, but then he was, what is the name of this woman? I have to ask. Because she was Brazilian, right? Um, he dated her for a while, which was kind of interesting because I do not see those two together because um, very different background. Um, anyway, I'm looking up the names right now here. So as I forget, if you guys know the name, just like post it below there. But yeah, I woke up feeling very kind of sad and sentimental this morning. Yeah. And by the way, all the other stuff going on in the country, but I've decided on my channel I am not going to be political at all. So I'm not talking about anything political. I'm just not going to go there. It's too divisive. But yeah, I just feel like he's such an American icon, Robert Redford, and I feel like it's hit us all a little bit, right? Because we all grew up with him. Um, yeah. So, but who had a big crush on him? Jane Fonda. If you look at all the old interviews, Jane Fonda's talking about him. She just has stars in her eyes, and I, you can tell it was never Jane Fonda. If you're watching, it was never reciprocal. Like I'm sure he respected her. You can tell in the interviews, but she had a huge crush on him, and I think in her book she even mentions that, like she was in love with him for a while there. Same with Barbara Streisand, right? But again, oh yeah, he was married to Lola Van Wagenen, 18 years. Oh, Sonia Braga. They had a long relationship. I want to say, I mean, she was a Latina. I don't know if it was Brazil. I feel like it was Brazilian, but yeah, Sonia Braga. And remember, she was in the movie, The Kiss of the Spider Woman. So she was very like just not from his world, like very exotic Latina, like this beautiful woman in that movie was very popular in the 1980s. So they had that long relationship. I came across something while I was looking up Robert Redford's girlfriend. Now, I thought we should talk about this, Paul Newman, for a second, because they were filming Butch and the Sundance Kid, as you know. And gosh, who didn't love Paul Newman? Another one that was married to Joanne Woodward forever, right? But I didn't know he had an affair when he was filming Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Did you know that? Didn't know. Paul Newman reportedly had an affair. This was on location in Mexico while they were filming Butch Cassidy. Um, so he even had a separation from his wife, Joanne Woodward, over this. And it was just this affair was described as the worst kept secret in Hollywood. And this came out of the biography, Paul Newman, A Life, that came out in 2009. And now a lot of friends of Paul Newman has disputed this rumor. Um, but Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward remain married. Um, yeah. And then what he passed in what 2008. I never knew about this. So I can't say if it's true or not, but I was like, what? That's the last person in the world I thought would had an affair because he was married to Joanne Woodward. Who thought? So that was just a side note about that. Did you know about that? Yeah, no. So no, Robert Redford, yes, got married to Lola in 1957. They divorced in 1985. Now think about that. I feel like he was at the height of his fame in the 1970s, right? So, and he was married with kids. They met in Los Angeles. They had a modest ceremony. Oh yeah, they had 4 children together. Scott died in infancy, and then his older son James passed in 2020. Mm. Okay. But apparently they remained amicable even after their divorce. Well, of course, they had kids together. So Sonia Braga, yes, she was a Brazilian actress. I shouldn't say what. She is a Brazilian actress. They met on the set of the Milagro Beanfield War. I remember that movie. I don't think I ever saw it though. Now I want to go back and watch it because that's where they met. They dated for a little over a year. And again, from very different backgrounds. Yeah. So I guess at this point, opposites attract. Yeah. He dated Lena Olin from 1989. So this was after Sonia Braga to 1991. Lena Olin was a Swedish actress. They met while filming Havana and they dated for almost 2 years in the early 90s. Again, I can't remember if I saw Havana. I got to look that one up now too. Then for a little bit, he dated a costume designer, Kathy O'Rear, for several years in the mid 90s. I don't know if it was very serious because they were seen together at events, but the relationship ended because he began dating Sybil Sagers, who ended up being his wife. So this was a German artist. She was an environmental activist, and they met at his Sundance resort. Okay. They dated starting in, again, mid late 90s. They lived together first. They married in 2009 in Germany. and she was his wife and partner until he died just a couple days ago. Yeah. So I feel like he's kind of like the opposite of your traditional Hollywood star. Don't you feel like that? Because he was just in committed relationships. And really, these are very interesting women. And, you know, it's not like he was with one month, with one the other, like some actors you can think about, you know? So I don't know. And he was very interested. These women were all very intelligent and creative and interesting, really, you know? So, rumored affairs. We got to talk about that because, oh gosh, who didn't have a crush on Robert Redford? We're going to go over the rumored affairs. They're all rumors. So, yeah. Um, yeah. Barbara Streisand, rumored flirtations. Well, of course, during The Way We Were. Streisand was reportedly infatuated. Yeah, I'm going to say it was more than that. I think she was in love with him. Of course, their chemistry fueled a lot of gossip. Oh, if you haven't seen this movie, again, if you're young, you probably haven't seen this movie. The rest of us, we've seen it. It's so good. And I think it stands the test of time, really. Like, who wouldn't fall in love with him filming that movie? So we've got Barbara Streisand, who has always spoke fondly of him. But apparently, Robert Redford kept things professional. No rumored affairs with her. Jane Fonda, again, they were in Barefoot in the Park together. They were in Our Souls at Night. That was the one that came out recently. Recently being what did that? I think 2019 that came out, right? To me, that's recent. So yeah, Fonda admitted to being in love with him. Yeah, and she said she couldn't keep her hands off him during shoots. I wonder if that would still fly today, right? Because the Me Too movement goes both ways. Yeah, I don't think that would fly today. But apparently, yeah, he was very professional, wasn't interested. No. Meryl Streep said she had a huge crush on Robert Redford while filming Out of Africa. No shocker there, right? Again, you guys, if you haven't seen Out of Africa, I think out of all the movies he's done, that's my favorite. Yeah. Um, Such a beautiful movie. She could not pin him down in that movie. Oh no. Uh-uh. Um, and she said, because there were some intimate scenes in that movie, and Meryl Streep has said that he was the best kisser she has ever had. I mean, it's in nowadays an actress would never say that because yeah, but yeah. Deborah Winger, uh, remember Legal Eagles? Do you guys remember Legal Eagles? Yeah, that was the 1980s. Legal Eagles, rumored relationship during their collaboration on Legal Eagles, though details are unverified. I don't know. So 1980s. I mean, it is interesting because he did get divorced in 1985. I don't know though. So that's just a rumor. And then don't forget Natalie Wood. They were in the movie, what was it? This house is, what was it called? Comment below. This house is, oh, I can't believe I don't remember the title right now. Anyway, in the 1960s, they developed a very close friendship, but there was no evidence of an affair. My gosh, she was gorgeous, was she not? Yeah. Oh, Georgia Peach says Out of Africa was a true story. Well, then that makes it all the more amazing. It really does. I did not know that. Maybe I knew that a long time ago and I forgot, but thank you for reminding us because I did not remember that. Um, let's see. Be kind. I'd rather hear about political controversy that doesn't need to be divisive than I want to hear again. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Um, Best looking man ever in my childhood. Yeah. Um, I mean, honestly, as far as political controversy, I don't even know if I have anything to say about that. I mean, here's one thing I'll say about that. I am unfortunately, you get the news feed on your phone all the time. I'm seeing all the news from all sides. And I have many friends and loved ones on all sides of the spectrum. And with how I try to look at everything is recognize the source, take a breath, relax. Where is the news coming from? Like, and just like I say to be open minded in medicine and religion and paranormal things, I think it's really important to be patient, kind, and open minded in politics as well. But I will say I am very worried about the direction everything is going right now. And what's really, and I know it's a tribute to Robert Redford, but I feel like what would he say in times like these? I mean, he was alive, he saw what was going on. Um, and being a very grounded, down to earth person, all these people online calling for civil war, they have no. I'm gonna bet they've never traveled outside our country. They've never been to a third world country that's been through civil war. Um, they're so used to. We are so lucky in this country. We are very lucky in this country that we have grocery stores full of food. Um, you can, for the most, and I know things are changing, but for the most part, there is still freedom. You can walk down the street and still feel somewhat safe, depending what city you're in. I mean, let's say that because, but I think the access we have to all this news from all over the world, um, it feels like everything's right outside your front door, where we never used to know. Like, I just saw something about France, like all the riots and there's fire in the street, like all this stuff going on. And a lot of it is, yeah, if you have people losing their jobs and a certain group of people is getting money and another group of people is disenfranchised, it just, and it's happening everywhere. So I always look at, like, just like in medicine, if there's a disease, I'm not just going to throw medicine at it. I'm going to look, what is the root cause? So the same thing here. What is the root cause? Why are all these things going on all over the world at the same time? I have my own thoughts. I think that there is some, I'll just say, group that is very on board with dividing everybody, right? Yeah, and it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. And oh, Kat, I'm in Arizona, and for the most part, people go. Yeah, I'm reading the comments and trying to talk. Yes, my family is home. They're going back and forth past these windows. So yeah, hopefully they're dressed. You know, it's a Saturday morning here right now, so yeah, the house is very busy. So anyway, um, but yes, I just I'm just very concerned is what I'll say political wise. I mean, if you want to discuss something, put it in the chat. Um, but it's concerning. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned about what's going on. And that's kind of why I do like to talk a lot about spirituality, because that is a thing, and supernatural, paranormal, whatever term you like to use, because um, when I get really upset about things I see online, like riots or people being killed that were innocent, and just I mean, the stuff we see is, it's really demonic, that what we see online. It really is. And so I just have to keep thinking, okay, I do I do believe there's another side, and I do believe in good and evil. And that's kind of where I trickle everything down to. And so and I do think that what we see online, and especially on our phones and social media, be really careful, because it can really make you depressed and anxious. And it's a really good idea to get out in nature, take a hike, take a bike ride, take a walk, take a breath, and ground yourself a little bit, you know, um, because all of this is driving people crazy. Yeah. And I think it just piggybacks on to, like, we're losing these people like Robert Redford. We're losing these icons, these American cultural icons from movies. Um, and it just kind of hits you. It just hits you in a different way. Like, we're losing what we used to be as a country. I guess he's a representative of that. So while we have all this political divisiveness goes on, you do see America changing. It's just changing. And I can just say the best way to remedy it is be kind to everyone that you can be kind to, um, because that does go a long way. It really does. Who was I talking to the other day? Might have been someone at my place of work that um, customers or clients or whatever, some people can be so mean to people that just work at a front desk. People can get screamed at, yelled at. You go into a store, you see someone berating the cashier. It's like, these people don't make a lot of money, yet you're going to scream at them like they're your slave. Like, that's bonkers. And you don't know what everyone's going through. And so it's always good to take a breath, be kind if you can, because, and if you're on the side of the fence and you're arguing with someone else mentally online or whatever, um, they just might not know the facts. They might just be ignorant. And that's why it's important to be patient, open minded, have a very calm, intelligent discussion, right? And you might be able to change their mind. But if you come at them with violence or yelling or screaming, they're not going to listen. They're just not going to listen, right? So I guess that's political. Yeah. Hello from Washington State. Hello. Kat, your favorite movie is Robert Redford's Great Gatsby. Yes. I yes, and I did watch both recently. Robert Redford in that one was amazing. I mean, he's amazing in everything. But I did like the Leonardo DiCaprio version as well. That was a beautiful movie. I mean, so if you haven't watched that one, I think Leonardo DiCaprio did do a tribute to him as well. Um, because yeah, I mean, just like he was part of what formed his career too. Oh, This Property is Condemned. Yes, that's the name of the movie with him and Natalie Wood. Um, for sure. Yeah. So, what else do we Oh, hi from South Africa. Hi, Skylark. How are things in South Africa? Because I talked about social media and what we see. Like, how are things there? And is it summer there right now? Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's upheaval all over the world. And I always love to check in with people from other parts of the world to see what's really going on there. Yeah, just to get the real truth. Um, I'm going to check something about Robert Redford really quick here. Yeah. Um, I'm reading your comments. Hmm. Oh, doesn't know. Okay. Interesting. That would not answer me there. Huh. Try it here. Um, yeah. Oh, by the way, thank you for joining me for this live on a Saturday morning. I hope you all are having a good morning. If you will comment where you're viewing from across the country or the world, because that is so interesting for the rest of us. Um, so, as far as what Robert Redford, what did he think about the world? What did he think about our current status of the world before he passed? Well, you know what I really admire about him? He was a staunch environmentalist. He was a prominent voice for protecting natural resources. And that makes sense. Like he lived in a beautiful part of Utah. He lived in Sundance. I mean, that's where he passed away on September 16th. And he was a tireless advocate for environmental causes. So he was all about clean air and water and protecting and preserving public lands and wildlife. And I do agree that that is so important. Again, I live in Arizona. When I go up north, and we still have vast forests and beautiful national parks that you can still camp in, what drives me crazy. And lately, I see like random rogue campers all over the place. They leave a ton of trash, and it's like, did you grow up? How were you raised? Like, we don't do this. And so he was really about preserving and protecting our public parks and our spaces. And I love that. Oh, Amanda's in England. Kenji's in California. Oh, Manhattan. Yeah. How is it in Manhattan, right? We see all these things coming out in New York as well. Yeah. Oh, in Iowa. Okay. So I think we're representative from all over the world right now. That's amazing. But yeah, really, I mean, he opposed fossil fuels. Um, I think it's easy to oppose fossil fuels. I watched a really great interview with Jordan Peterson saying, like, yeah, it's all great and I love solar too. Like, I have a lot of solar panels. I think it's really great to kind of have an alternative energy source, especially because we lose our power all the time here in Arizona. But if you don't have a lot of money, you can't afford an electric car. You can't afford getting solar panels on the roof of your house. You have to rely on gas, and gas prices are still very expensive. They still haven't come down. So I feel like it's easy to oppose fossil fuels when you're rich. And yes, he was very wealthy. I love that he supported the environment, and I understand fossil fuels they're hard on the environment, but guess what else is? and I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I have an electric car, but these batteries, and I worry about it too. These batteries are not good for the environment. But yeah, Robert Redford, staunch environmentalist. I get it, but I feel like people that are very wealthy have the luxury of opposing things that poor people don't have the luxury of, right? Um, but anyway, um, yeah, following all the way up to his death, he was involved in the Natural Resource Defense Council. He co-founded the Redford Center to produce films that inspired environmental action. And so I guess as far as his politics went, he was just more an environmentalist. And that's why he was pretty down to earth. He cared about, he wanted to leave a beautiful environment for his children, put it that way. Now, of course, he was still involved in Hollywood for sure. And most people in Hollywood tend to lean to the left of the political spectrum, even though now, right, it used to be where someone like, say, Robert Redford, I'll just say, like, and again, I don't really know his politics. I would imagine he was kind of in the middle, where I don't even know if his politics would even put him on the left anymore, which has happened because now you don't just have the left, you have the extreme this way and the extreme this way. But apparently, he was more on the left as far as like politics go. He was not a fan of our current president, and he endorsed Democrats. Yeah. And that was well known. So there's that. I'm not holding that. I'm not saying either one. Not saying either one. But yeah, that's just kind of what his thoughts were. And so apparently in his movie, The Candidate, he used that film to explore social and political themes. I'm going to have to watch that again. I think I saw that years and years ago. He had a cameo and was involved in the making of Dark Winds, that TV series that showcased the Navajo community, which is huge here in Arizona. In fact, many, there's even the Native American hospital not far from me, a huge Navajo community there. And so that was very involved in Dark Winds. I think I saw one of those episodes, but um, yeah. So Cedric, a bit scary with all of the crime, but otherwise it's great. So, okay, then. So, my question to you, if you're still here, what we see on social media, then, and wait, where did that young woman get attacked? Was that in New York when she was riding on the train? I don't know. I can't remember where that was at. But so is that true then, what we're seeing on social media? Because I was in Manhattan how many years ago now? Gosh, was it 2017? I think was the last time I was there, and it was snowing. I was walking everywhere. We went to concerts, restaurants, stores, and there was police everywhere. I felt very safe. I thought the city was beautiful. I thought, oh my gosh, everyone is so lucky that lives in Manhattan. It was just beautiful. Um, so it's true then. There is a lot of crime. That's eye-opening. Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks, Georgia Peach. You were my neighbor or good friend. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, and I just kinda wanted to do a live. I haven't done a live on this channel in a long time just because 'cause I'm just feeling a little, I guess, yeah, a little melancholy after the loss of Robert Redford and all the news that we've been seeing the last 2 weeks. I do worry. I do worry about where everything is going, and, I just wanna do a tribute to him because I think we all have seen so many of his movies, and we do miss him, so, um just didn't wanna feel alone in this, right? Yeah. I'm so glad you mentioned this. Heidi's here and there mentioned A Walk in the Woods. Okay. I forgot about that. A Walk in the Woods. Can I just say how good that book is? If you haven't if seen the movie, read the book first. The book is so good. I think it's by Bill Bryson. And, oh, who was the other actor in it? Real famous, and he was in another movie with Barbara Streisand, the actor that was with him in Walk in the Woods. The movie was great. I think it followed the book very well, but the book is so good. And it's Bill Bryson is an amazing author. But yes, thank you for mentioning that because I did love that too, because I love to hike. I love being in nature. So yeah, I love that. A river runs through it. Oh my gosh, he directed that. I love that movie too. So many good old movies. Horse Whisperer, yes. I read the book first, then saw that was a great movie too. You guys are mentioning all the good ones that he was in. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Nick Nolte. Thank you. Nick Nolte was in A Walk in the Woods with him, right? Yeah, that was good. But yeah, I again recommend the book first. Hey, Nancy and Yuma. Yeah. Um, and Sydney, Australia. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. We're all just remembering Robert Redford right now and just kind of talking about whatever. If someone mentions something in the comments. But yeah, it's just, I just feel like every day I wake up to the news and either we've lost someone we loved on the news or some other crisis. I just feel like every day it's something new. But um, I think I'm gonna do, and I'm glad YouTube is putting a lot of the movies for free that Robert Redford was in online. So search the movies; you're probably gonna find it for free. And I know I've seen a lot of his things that are popping up on Netflix and Prime this weekend also. And if you have cable still, lots of his movies are on cable. They're just everyone's doing a dedication to Robert Redford. Yeah. Oh, you could read it on your channel. You have a book channel? That's cool. Yeah. Uh, Yeah, I didn't know he was born in California either. I know he's lived in California, Colorado, Utah, just a guy from the West, pretty much, right? Yeah. Yeah, a life well lived. I agree. He definitely was a life exemplified, a life well lived for sure. Georgia Peach, I love your woo woo videos. I love them too. I know like my channel took a left turn or a right turn because again, I'm not trying to it's a way of speech. Cuz at the very beginning, I used to talk about medical things or my haircuts or makeup and then one day I just started talking about things I really like to talk about, which is seeing shadows in my house and talking about the paranormal and my spiritual experiences while I worked in hospice for 10 years. Right now, I just have a family practice and I work at another location, which I told my other work I would never mention where I work because I don't want to risk any problems, right? Piece of advice. Yeah. And I never film from my work either. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I love talking about that stuff too because that is the number one interest I have, and it's been that way since I was young, and that just hit a chord with a lot of people. They like those videos too. Um, I'm releasing one later today. Uh, and by the way, that you guys that are on my live right now, again, if you just joined us, we're doing a tribute to Robert Redford. I do have two other YouTube channels because I do miss when my channel was smaller. I could talk about whatever. So I do have another channel. It's called Doc in the Den. And that's where I talk about things that I don't talk about on this channel now because the audience is much larger on this channel. And so um, I don't need all the comments that are negative, really. So I have my other channel, Doc in the Den. If you don't know about it, here I'll spell it here on the comments real quickly so you guys know if you haven't heard of it. Doc. Wait, is it going to let me chat? Doc in the Den. Whoop, Den. Okay, there. That's the name of that channel. And then, oh, Heidi, thank you. You like the ghostly encounters as well. Yeah. That's why right now I'm saying my family is walking by right there. There's no dark shadows right there, but let me know if you see something. Um, no, I have a video coming out later today about weird supernatural things that are more of a concern if you're over the age of 50. That's coming out later today. And then Wednesday about this haunted hotel I was in up in Flagstaff. That you know what? Maybe I'll put that one out tomorrow. I'll put the haunted hotel out one tomorrow. Anyway, and then my other channel is called, since you guys are here, Vitalize Health Partners. That's where I want to go back to talking about medical things. I know it's not as exciting, but um, I'm going to put there, that name right there. There's my other channel. Because I come across medical things that I want to let people know about. I put something about a nasal spray that through studies, right, was proven to reduce the chance of having COVID or um, preventing you from getting COVID. It was studied greatly. It's a nasal spray you can buy over the counter. I'm not telling you to do it. I was just talking about the study and the research behind this over the counter nasal spray. And I talk about it on my other channel, Vitalize Health Partners. Okay. Thanks for being patient and listening to that. Okay. By the way, while I was researching Robert Redford, trying to see if there was any ghost stories or paranormal things, guess what I came up with? Zero. This gentleman was so down to earth. There is no ghost story, no paranormal, nothing attached to him. which is actually unusual because every time I research a celebrity, I can usually find something, whether they talked about something or something to do with the movie, nothing, zilch. The only thing I thought was weird was when I did that video on my other channel, Doc in the Den, where I talk about how he played the Grim Reaper on that one Twilight Zone episode where he plays a beautiful young Grim Reaper. And what is it? Every holiday weekend, you know how they do a Twilight Zone marathon on cable? You could probably catch it. On my other channel, Doc in the Den, I do an entire episode about that, the name of the episode, which number it was, the name of the actors, and everything in there. So if you haven't seen that Twilight Zone episode, Robert Redford's in that one, and I think that was one of his first, well-known things because it came out in the '60s in his career. So if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Oh, the hotel in Colorado where The Shining was made, so I think you're referring to the Stanley Hotel. It is on my bucket list. I think when I retire from my other job, which I will not name here, the job that shall not be named, um, I think I'm going to do these bucket list things. I already have my camper van and I do plan on visiting some haunted locations. I just can't do it now. I work like 60 hours a week. I just cannot get away right now. Um, especially now. This is the busy season. But yeah, I would love to go there. Someone mentioned, because I have a video coming about this too, about, or my one coming out later today. They're like, hey, why don't you tape recorder? I am never gonna do that. I'm never gonna do that. Like when you know, you know. Like I'm never doing that. No thanks. Yeah, no thanks. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. No haunted or ghost stories from Robert Redford. Couldn't find a thing. That's right. So I think he was, and I'm just going to guess. I don't know. I love that he did pass away peacefully. It was reported he passed away peacefully in his sleep at age 89 with his family around him in his beautiful home in Sundance, Utah. A very peaceful passing in his sleep. And I'm so happy for him for it going down that way. I think that's lovely. And um, I think that's the way he probably deserved to go. Right? Yeah. Oh, how animals pick up on spirits. That is so weird that you just said that, ZV, because I have a video that I did about how animals can sense the spirit and that they come visit you. Literally. I think I'm putting that, I've done the video already. I think I'm going to release that one Wednesday, but that's so weird that you mentioned that because I literally just did that video this morning. Okay. Hey, Michelle from Florida, sunny Florida. Any hurricanes coming? Like, how is it in Florida right now? Hmm. Let us know. Um, no, The Shining wasn't filmed in Colorado. I actually understand that it wasn't even filmed at the Stanley Hotel. It was filmed elsewhere. I have read that also. But I am live in Arizona right now. It's very hot and humid here. We got a ton of rain the day before yesterday. Very humid. Mosquitoes aplenty. Yes, we get mosquitoes in Phoenix. It's just very different now. Yeah, those of you in Arizona, you know. But okay, well, I'm so glad you all joined me for this live. I feel like I haven't done a live forever. Um, we all miss Robert Redford. This was a tribute to him today. I thought that was important. I hate that we're losing our stars that we all looked up to. Um, so I thank you for being here. I thank you for being a part of my channel. My channel has grown so much, and I don't say it enough, but I am so grateful for all of you that love talking about the paranormal, the supernatural, and the spiritual. And I love coming from it from the bent of I still practice medicine. And yes, and it's so funny when I have patients and other people that say like, "Oh, I found your channel." And then I'm like, what do you think? Because I haven't lost any clients or patients over it. So that's kind of great. So oh, you lived in Fountain Hills. Fountain Hills is beautiful. Yes, it's beautiful. It's so big now. So many people live in Fountain Hills now. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and I'll see you soon.